Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about RWBY Hyosetsu Tekoku or RWBY Ice Queendom, which is on episode 10. Now, this episode right here looks like to me they only have one final plan left to play, and Blake is making a big gamble on this, and it's going to rely on RWBY and Blake to possibly help her out, you know? So, if anything else, let's just talk about it. We had to it that after a big long talk with Blake and Yang, you know, Blake believes that there's one way how to do it is to have the nightmare that possessed Jean to possess Blake in order to fight off the nightmare to make it equal, you know? And that is where Yang doesn't like the idea, because what would happen if the nightmare would put Blake in the same situation as Weiss, you know? Blake will later on tell Yang that I'll rely on you and RWBY and maybe Weiss to help me out there. And then Yang seems to don't like the idea, but they decide to talk to Professor Shion and Ozpin about it, you know? And we have to it that they used the coin in order to contact with Shion and Ozpin, you know, and this becomes very risky. We have to it that Shion tells Blake that this may work, however, it comes at a big gamble or cost. You sure you're ready to do this? And we have to it. Blake's like, yeah, but is there any other promising plans? Otherwise, this is the only one I could think about. Shion, on the other hand, decides to look at Ozpin for approval, and Ozpin gives her the yes, and Shion therefore tells Blake, okay, let's do this. However, this is all or nothing, okay? Because you need to save at least one coin, at least, in order to, wake Blake up or something, you know, etc. So, we have to it that, that Professor Shion decides to, go with the plan with Blake's idea of having a nightmare possess Blake, you know, etc. And we have to it, that's what happened in last week's episode's ending, where Blake shows up and faces, Weiss, you know? So Nightmare Blake, I guess, or negative Blake versus negative Weiss, you know, that kind of thing. And then Yang, she ends up reuniting with her bike and decides to help out, you know? And she ends up showing up at the door that John put as a checkpoint, you know, which I thought was pretty cool. So, yeah. And then we go to a scene with, whatchamacallit, that Yang shows up to RWBY, gives her a relic, and tells her to go on ahead and fight the nightmare, you know? And we have to eventually Yang will become the distraction to that big metal statue, big metal bronze statue, whatever it is called, while negative Blake ends up facing negative Weiss, and they end up clashing against each other. Before Blake becomes a negative or a nightmare, you know, version of herself, she does see Adam as a silhouette or something about asking her a couple hurtful questions here and there, and Blake gets ready to go for it, you know, that kind of thing. Eventually, as the episode continues on, like I said, Nightmare Blake fights Nightmare Weiss, and they end up clashing against each other, you know, etc. And as for Shion, as for Professor Shion, she is very worried and concerned because she doesn't know how long her ability is going to last, all things considered, you know, with what's going on here and there. And we see to it that that RWBY fights her way or gets her way through the vines with the relics, you know, and finds the nightmare that's causing a lot of trouble to Weiss, and she clashes against the nightmare vines and gets ready to clash against the freaking nightmare boss in Weiss's dream, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah. Anyways, all I can really tell you right now without a lot of complicated detail is that Blake decides to use the nightmare that possessed John that they captured in order to help her out to fight negative Weiss or nightmare Weiss in order to maybe cancel each other out or be on equal grounds. I don't know. But as for Blake, the nightmare is already starting to have a big influence on Blake's mind and body, you know. So it's now or never, and they don't have much time because Shion says that her semblance is already starting to run out pretty badly. Combine that, if they don't make this work, it's game over for Weiss, and there's no way of rescuing her, you know. She'll be in debt, she'll go into eternal sleep and die, etc. So, yeah, and RWBY, like I said, is facing off against that nightmare that's causing Weiss to have a dream, you know, or nightmare dream, however you want to call it, while John ends up fighting that night statue with the help of the rest of the mini Weisses whatsoever, which I thought was pretty cute, but yeah. Anyways, looking forward to the next episode. There's only about a couple left, so there's only about 11 and 12, only 2 episodes left, so until then, people, I'll see you guys later. I'm off, Visitor. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out, bye-bye. Ta-da!